guys, Dragon 2020 here, and today we're going to talk about energy. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Alright, so we're not going to talk about the Adeptal arts specifically or any type of art related to a region, but we're going to talk about the energy required for all of it, because everyone has it. As you can see, Amber, she has access to this type of power. So let's start off by saying this. The blue in the slide that you're seeing right now, that is not Animo, that is not Hydro. Not everyone in this frame can control Animo or Hydro. And then it shifts to gold, not everyone can control Geo. In fact, as far as I know, only 2 people can control Geo in that frame, and that's the Traveler and Ningguang. Mihoyo is very consistent with their color schemes and labeling systems, except for instances like the Knave, where her pyro is a blood red-orange. That's because her blood is staining the power red, making it red-orange. If you remember at the very beginning of the game, the Traveler is seen descending into the world of Tavant. He is covered in this blue and gold energy. Right before it shows him falling to earth, the Traveler draws a picture in the sand describing what he is. If you compare that to the shape of a Primo Gem, they are the exact same shape. The exact same shape. Since this power was associated with the blue and gold energy I was mentioning before, we can say that wishing has something to do with this energy. And anything that's associated with wishing is also related to the Traveler and the energy that all characters in Genshin can use. On the Wiki, it is stated that humans can acquire power around the level of an Adeptus by studying and practicing. However, certain characters, like the Adepti, will always have a higher affinity for this magic/power. This stems from their DNA/blood. It can be passed down from generation to generation, because an Adeptus is not determined from the amount of magic that they're able to use. It is determined from the amount of Adeptus blood they have in their system. In the Genshin Wiki, it says that yokai are akin to the illuminated beasts in Liyue, aka the Adepti. The definition of akin is of similar nature or character, or related by blood. This means that yokai and Adepti, they are the exact same. Both yokai and Adepti are seen as magical creatures of legend, capable of doing supernatural things. This means that this trait in regards to their affinity to magic is not only within certain characters' DNA. Their ability to pass down their affinity for magic is not native to only Inazuma and Liyue. It's in Mondstadt, it's in Sumeru, and it's in Fontaine. This puts a spotlight on characters like Sucrose and Diona. They are a combination of both animal and human. So that means whatever's going on within the DNA within a yokai or an Adeptus is going on in them as well. Now we've got to talk about Phlogiston. Phlogiston is an advanced form of pyro and the original form of the 7 elements. Phlogiston carries deep spiritual significance to the people of Netlem, symbolizing their indomitable spirit. Phlogiston is Tavant's primordial form of energy and was used by the heavenly principles as a basis for the creation of elemental energy for the purpose of developing a better power to counter the abyss. Phlogiston has 4 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, and is also associated with combustion. If you go down to the different languages, in Korean it says caloric, as in calorie. I'm not talking about the type of calories you gain from eating, I'm talking about the calories as in the measurement. If you were to go on Google and search up calorie, the measurement needed to raise the temperature of water. If you were to look at the very bottom of the picture that I'm showing you, it says the chemical content of food is usually measured in calories. The calorie content of food is calculated by adding up the calories from the energy containing nutrients such as protein, carbohydrates, fat, and alcohol. Alcohols have been used as fuel for internal combustion engines since their invention and are commonly used in race cars. The most common alcohols used as fuel are ethanol, and methanol. Ethanol is a renewable fuel that can be made from plant materials, such as corn, through the process of fermentation. It has a higher octane number than gasoline and can be blended with gasoline in various concentrations. What this means for phlogiston is it is not only the original form of the element, but it can also be used as a fuel source. Ethanol on its own is potential energy. It needs to be converted into kinetic energy. How do you do this? By burning it or combusting it. Now we need to talk about spirits. On screen, you should be seeing a picture of 4 different spirits. At the top, you should be seeing 2 spirits that resemble humans. That's because those are the spirits of dead people that were once human. At the bottom, you should be seeing 2 Seelies. One can be found by roaming around, and the other, that's Renova. Both of these things at the bottom are both angels. All Seelies are angels, with Renova being the most powerful one that we have seen. What all 4 of these spirits have in common is that they are all capable of repelling the abyss. Renova stated that she can repel the abyss at the cost of her life, and a ghost of a deceased warrior from Netlim guided the Traveler and the others to go save Kachina. In order to do this, he created a barrier that was capable of repelling the abyss. So why am I talking about biology, phlogiston, and spirits? If you were to go to the overview for Illuminated Beasts, it says that Madame Ping mentions that the adoptal arts taught to them by Morax was part of their illumination, which suggests that not all illuminated beasts were born illuminated. The definition for illuminated is lit with bright lights. The definition of illuminate is make something visible or bright by shining a light on it or light up. And the definition of illumination is lighting or light. Whenever you think of illuminating something, you're either using a light, like a flashlight, a light bulb, or a fire, aka phlogiston. So my theory is Morax increased the amount of phlogiston within the Adeptus to make them illuminated beasts. What supports this is what Irina did, the Hydro Archon. Originally, some oceanids created by the first Hydro Archon, Irina, longed to be human. So Irina used the primordial sea's life-granting properties to give the oceanids their human forms. The primordial sea is the opposite side of the same coin as phlogiston. So it is precedented that an Archon can alter the biology or even create the biology of living creatures. Now the difference between what Zhongli did and what Irina did is that Irina, the oceanids were never human. They wanted to be human, so she turned them into humans from oceanids, which got the heavenly principles' attention, and they rained down fire upon her. The Adeptus already could shapeshift into humans, so they could quite literally become humans whenever they wanted. Zhongli just altered them to be more powerful than what they were. And the reason why I think he did this is because a lot of the dark deities that were roaming the land during the days of the Archon War, even after these dark deities fell, their negative emotions went into the soil and polluted the land. Even though this isn't abyssal corruption, these are dark forces, and Phlogiston is known for cleansing dark forces. As we see in Shilonin's story quest, she was able to cleanse the dark thoughts or evil thoughts around this lady, purifying the area, which allowed the spirit of this kid to communicate with the woman. So, in conclusion, phlogiston may have been used to create the illuminated beasts. Now that we're done with that, I want you all to take a look at this. On screen right now, you should be seeing a picture of a scene from the Osal fight, a picture of a warrior from Netlim's spirit, and a picture of Renova. If I zoom in on all of these pictures, you should notice the color patterns of each picture. Each time this energy is shown, it is usually blue with lightish blue or white polka dots, very similar to a starry sky at night. And during the Osal fight, all of the warriors there started to glow like a star. And on screen you should be seeing a picture of a warrior of Netlim. He is glowing gold and orange, the color of phlogiston, and the same type of coloring that the Adeptus were showing when they were glowing. The same gold. If you know anything about a star, the reason why it shines so bright is because it's a giant fusion reactor. Nuclear fusion is constantly happening because of the fuel that is present within that star. And if I show you that picture of a warrior from Netlim, you can see phlogiston radiating from the guy's body, which means phlogiston is the fuel for the gold. So what exactly is this gold? Is it the same spirit energy or not? Well, to answer that question, I want you to look at the Traveler's sword. Do you see a pattern on the sword? It should look like a bunch of waves on it. Now look at this Seelie. It has the exact same pattern on it, which means this is everyone's spirit energy shining like the light from a star. I want to give a quick shout out to Boo Skykes. He's the one who provided this image. He took a picture on it and then posted it on the wiki for everyone to see. I managed to stumble upon this while reading the comments, so I wanted to give a quick shout out to Boo Skikes. Thank you for this picture. So what this tells me is that everyone can use their own spirit energy without the use of Phlogiston, but once Phlogiston is used, their spirit energy begins to glow bright like this gold. And certain characters like the Adeptus, or characters that have animal-like features like Sucrose and Kachina, have a higher Phlogiston count than most. And I do believe that this Phlogiston is located in their blood, and this is something that can show up in a blood test, however you would do that kind of test. Like this is further backed up by the Indonesian official translation for illuminated beasts, heirloom animals, blatantly stating that these animals are meant to pass something down. Before we end off this section of the video, I want to cite someone else's video. This is Ashikai's video, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct. In her video, this is what she says: elemental energy is light, and how you get the elements is that light being shined in a specific way to get a specific element. In order to get different color light in real life, you have to either burn something or shine it through something that is either glass or crystal. In Genshin Impact, the three things that are mainly used to access the elements are visions, delusions, and gnosis. Visions, delusions, and gnosis all have glass or crystal structures that allows light to be refracted in a certain way to get a specific element. Do I think that's what's happening with spirit energy? No. What I think is happening is the other way to get a different color fire or a different color light, and that is to burn off something to get that different color light, and that thing is their spirit energy. So while the combustion process is in motion, they're mixing their own spirit energy to get a more powerful output of that spirit energy. So that's what I think is happening to get that bright color that is seen during the Osal fight. This is important because the more powerful the spirit energy, the more powerful their elemental attacks are, because elemental attacks are powered through the use of spirit energy. If my theory on spirit energy and the coloring for the elements are correct, then this would explain why Kazuha was able to use two visions at the same time. In that moment, Kazuha's spirit energy composition changed in a way that resembled his deceased friend's spirit energy's composition, plus his own. Kazuha's nature is not like his friend's, so this buff was only temporary. Now let's analyze the wish items and read their descriptions. In the description of a Genesis crystal, it's an energy crystal formed from the very origin of the universe. Formed within nothing out of pure potential and hope, it contains enough energy to create a newborn star. Now let's read a Primogen. A primordial crystal gem that's beyond the mundane world, shines with the condensed hopes and dreams of universes that once were. Hopes, dreams, potential. This sounds like some of the descriptions that I've listed out for spirit energy. Now intertwined fates. A fateful stone that connects dreams. Its glimmers can intertwine fate and connect dreams, just as how its glimmers link stars into shapes of heart's desires. I want you all to keep in mind all of these statements about dreams, because they will come up again later for a different topic. Now for a quaint fates. A seat that lights up the night, no matter the distance apart. Guided by the stone's glimmer, the fated will meet under the stars. That is directly referencing the Traveler and their twin. Everything that I just read to you is the in-game lore reason for the gacha system, and if characters in-game have access to this wish system, it explains why characters have the same legendary weapons like Dragonsbane. Now let's read about what it says about the Archon of the Seven and their magic. The Seven appear to be privy to information that mortals are generally unaware of and deem to be merely fictional. Let's go back to dreams. Dreams can be revelations, visions of the future, and pure works of fiction. So take the biggest pipe dream that you can think of, or a regular dream that you have, and understand through the power of this spirit energy in Genshin Impact, quite literally anything is possible. This explains the realm layouts, this explains the creation of the human realms and the four shades, these realms that are like living storybooks like the Simulanka. By the way, it's literally called a simulation. Quite literally anything is possible with this power. Going back to biology, characters whose origins that are based on myth like yokai, adaptus, oceanids, and those that have animal DNA will always have a deeper reservoir of this spirit energy, especially if they are spirits themselves. The phlogiston count of anyone in Genshin can be increased. The means on how this would happen are unknown, but I do theorize that this can only be done with the Gnosis, the power of a descender. A character that has recently fallen under my radar is Sucrose. This is because of her animal DNA and the fact that she is capable of emulating a animal hypostasis, a creature that is made up of the purest form of animal in the game, at least as far as I can find. With years of experience, many trials and tribulations, and going through situations that will shake her to her core, like what happened in Inazuma with their own Archon using her divine powers against her people, where Sucrose uses her life-granting powers to take life in order to preserve life. This is a future video idea that I will not go into right now. And to end off, we are now going to talk about Descenders. They have the highest affinity for this energy, period, even above the Archon of the Seven. Everyone in-game, even the low-tier characters, are trying to match the power of a Descender, including Sucrose unknowingly. She does not know that the power of a Descender is tied to what she wants. And to acquire this power, she will have to be taught by those who have learned the abilities of a Descender, from one who wielded the power of a Descender. Alright guys, that's gonna do it. Honestly, this took like 6 months to put together, because I had to wait for everything to come out and stuff like that. So before we end off the video, I just want to leave y'all with this ominous note. In the description for Primogem, it says, shines with the condensed hopes and dreams of universes that once were. Once were what? Once were visited, or once existed? Once existed, I want you all to pay attention to the word universe. It says universes, universe as in plural, meaning bare minimum 2, meaning if at least 2 existed before, this is the third. So what happened to the other 2? Going off of what happened during the Netlem story quest, I think the Abyss has something to do with it. So this might actually be the third time the human realm has been created. So I just wanted to give you all some food for thought with that one. So if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day.